Personal privilege, please.
Granted.
Thank you. Recognize every middle school student and state of Utah that has joined us today. They're all here, and yeah.
Every single one.
Personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Notwithstanding the vast ocean that separates us politically, I'd like to recognize Senator Jones. She shows up in color-coordinated outfits every single day. She works very, very hard on that. I know that must take a whole lot of effort on her part, but I'd just like to recognize her. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We have time for one bill, SB 54.
Thank you, Mr. President. SB 54 is going to allow many more people to participate in the voting system while keeping our caucus system.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would the good senator yield to a question?
I will not.
I would never do that.
Senator Vickers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will a good sponsor please yield to a question?
I will.
As many of you know, down in Intern County that I represent, we have a huge problem with prairie dogs. And so we're thinking about eradicating most of them. I just had a question about the bill, is if this bill goes through, can these prairie dogs vote in our caucus system?
If the good senator would please read lines 900 to 4,000 for the body out loud, I think you might find his answer there.
Thank you, Mr. President. Point of order. I would just like everyone to know that this vote requires a simple majority and not a constitutional majority, so that is only 15 votes as opposed to the constitutional majority's 20 votes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Roll call vote. Senator Osmond.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to make a call to the Senate.
This is in your bill, Senator Osmond.
It's important and sensitive.
We need 5 to stand.
This is my last time, I promise.
All right, we're going to call the Senate.
Fantastic.
And the call has been lifted. All right, roll call vote. And it looks like it's time for caucus. We'll convene at 2.
Welcome to caucus on Tuesday, the 11th. Senator Madsen, would you mind closing the door? Thank you. Caucus is now closed.
The Harlem Shake. The Harlem Shake.
We're on caucus. Continue on.
The Harlem Shake.
Welcome to afternoon floor time. The first bill we'll discuss today is Senate Bill 112, Political Cage Fighting Amendments.
This bill's short title is Political Cage Fighting. Utah has been considered a magnet state for these fights. This is a problem, and we need to address this in Utah by making this a felony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Standing in support of SB 112, hashtag my Senate floor, hashtag my tweet. Yes, as a practicing attorney, I've witnessed my fair share of political cage fights. They are not only despicable but reprehensible, and I definitely think that we need to do something about this. I was reading in a magazine the other day, a political cage fighting magazine. I was kind of surprised that it didn't exist, that, quote, Utah has become a safe haven for political cage fighting as local cage fighters from other states often flock to this state. And, that's all I have to say about that.
I agree, saying no to this bill is a lose-lose situation.
Senator Stevenson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have constituents who are incarcerated, and they don't want to bunk with either the speaker or the governor or any of you for that matter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just noticed that this bill has a fiscal note, and for that reason I'm happy to vote no.
I am also in support of this bill. The impact of promoting this political cruelty is dangerous. Even if you think it's funny or that they're just politicians are people too, and it's still abuse. Thank you.
I have a question.
Granted.
Are there protections in this bill for those who are just raising politicians?
That's fine, you can raise these politicians. These are beautiful politicians, why not? The problem comes when you start raising them, you start fighting each other.
This is obviously an important bill. Jerry Garcia ties, and I noticed a good senator over there does not wear Jerry Garcia ties. So unless significant changes are made to the senator's tie selections, I will have to oppose this bill. And on a further note, if this bill fails, I can still take you all on vacation.
How would you get an invite? My friend is really worried about this, and I'm asking for him. I don't know the direct information for that. I'm sorry. I'll have my intern work on it for you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just looking at this bill, I just think it's just ridiculous. We don't need any more felonies here, and we're here to preserve liberty and keep in mind the common good for everybody. So as I look at this, I won't be able to support it.
I've never been to a political cage fight, and I don't intend to. What was said to me was that it's almost like a picnic, like a family event, some celebration, and they compared it to a BYU-Utah game. I'm here to tell you that it's not.
Thank you, Senator Jones.
God has given us these politicians, not the government. In their natural habitat, it is well known, it's a well-known fact that politicians will fight and scrap against each other in the natural habitat.
And I had a couple notes on this that I'd like to share, just briefly. See, I'm going to go through the issue with all the talking points for my own bills. I can't seem to sort through them. If only I had a better intern to help me out.
I didn't realize about the deep history and the roots of this work going back to the very founding fathers themselves, and how it has been participated in and practiced for those who choose to do it.
I urge you to please make political cage fighting a felony, and I ask for your support and your vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Roll call vote. Senator Dane? Knudsen? 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 Knudsen?
Oh, aye. We can't legislate stupid.
Aye.
Hilliard, aye.
Senator Maine? Senator Stevenson?
Motion to circle?
So roll call vote.
Aye.
Thank you.
SB 112 passes with 15 yeas, 8 nays, and 6 being absent. We're at the end of floor time. Senator Overland, are there any announcements?
Oh, actually, Senator Knudsen, could you please? Thank you.
We have with us a quick presentation from Arizona State Representative Juan Carlos Escamilla. He is here representing Arizona and has a special presentation for us.
As you all know, Senator Robles is a very beautiful woman. And I admire her very, very much. Will you come up here, please?
Yes, yes.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to end personal privileges for the rest of the session.
Mr. President, could I have a personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. I've actually just prepared a vote dance that I'd like to prepare, or that I'd like to show everybody today.
Of course.
In the announcements, the event tonight is the speaker and governor's political cage fight at 7 o'clock. So if you RSVP to that, please try to make it. Also, make sure to pick up your free iPad from the house before you leave.